guys, I hope that day 5 of e-learning is going well. As most of you are probably aware, the governor yesterday decided to shut schools down until May 1st. So it's going to be a minute until we see each other face to face and back at school. And I know that for some of us that causes us a lot of worry. The world is kind of crazy right now and there are a lot of things to worry about. And sometimes worry can just kind of pile on top of us and we feel like it's suffocating us. And that's not a good place to be, and that's not a place that we want to be. So today I'm going to show you an activity that you can do by yourself or with your parents, or do it as a family activity that can help you reduce your worries and help sort them out of things you can control and things you cannot control. We spend a lot of our time worrying. I don't care how old you are, if you're young or if you're really old. We all worry, and we worry about a bunch of different things. And sometimes we worry about things we can't control, and sometimes we worry about things that we can control. So this is an activity that really helps us be able to get our worries written out on paper and then sort them to either be able to let them go when they're things we can't control, or come up with a game plan when it's things that we can control. So the things you're going to need for this activity: you're going to need some writing utensil. I have a marker. You can use a pen, pencil, doesn't matter. You're going to need some sort of paper. That could be a note card. It could just be normal notebook paper that you've ripped up. I had to use paper that I had at home because I left all my note cards at school. And then you're going to need your worries, which I know are all up in your head, so you came prepared. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is you're going to come up with a bunch of different little pieces of paper. And then on these pieces of paper, you're going to write the things that are worrying you. So it could be something totally ridiculous that you think about and it worries you, or it could be something that you have thought about a lot and that worries you. I want you to be able to write all of your worries down onto paper. I know I've talked about this with a lot of you in my office, that sometimes the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to get our worries and our fears and our feelings out on paper. Because sometimes we start thinking about something and we start thinking and thinking and thinking, and it gets stuck up here and we just continually are thinking about it and we're worrying about it. And so when we can get it onto paper, it kind of releases those things from our brain and gets it out of our brain so we can actually focus on it and deal with it. So you're going to write all of your worries down on little slips of paper. And after you have that done, you're going to have all your worries in front of you. And it might be kind of overwhelming when you look and you're like, oh my goodness, I worry about a lot of things. So the next part is we're going to sort it into 2 different categories. So your 2 different categories are going to be things that I can control and things that I cannot control. All right, so for instance, I did a quick example for myself. One thing that I'm worried about is the weather, because my yard has a tendency to flood. And so it rained a lot yesterday, so my poor dogs can't go out in the backyard because it's like a lake. So I'm worried that it's going to keep raining and it's going to keep getting worse. And then another thing that I'm worried about is getting my work done. Working from home is a new thing for me. I'm having to adjust to something new. And so figuring out how to do that, it's kind of making me worried. It's kind of making me a little bit anxious. So I'm looking at my worries, and I have the weather and getting things done. So for the first one, the weather. As much as I would like to control the weather and make it sunshiny and beautiful outside, I can't control that. As much as I would wish for it to be that way, if it's going to rain, it's still going to rain. So I'm going to put this worry in the things that I cannot control. And then getting my work done. I'm in charge of getting my work done. So this is definitely something that I can control. So I'm going to put this in the things I can control category. So you're going to take all of your worries and you're going to sort them into 2 different piles. So after you're done, your worries are now separated. So let's focus on the things that I cannot control pile first. All right? So more than likely, there are things that you have in your pile that you cannot control, that no matter how much we wish we could control it, we just can't. So this is really hard to do, but something that's really important for us to practice to be able to do. All the things in the things I cannot control category are things that we have to be able to let go. So we're going to take a deep breath in, let it out, and say, I cannot control these things, and so I'm not going to allow myself to worry about them. All right, so you're releasing those things from being something that you worry about. Now, it's easy to say right now, right? I can say, oh, I'm not going to worry about the weather, but then I might be sitting on my couch later and it comes up again. I'm like, oh my gosh, the weather. What if it keeps raining? I'm going to stop myself and I'm going to say, That is not something that I have control over. I'll deal with it if it happens, but I'm taking a deep breath and I'm going to release it. So it's something that we're going to have to continually do because worry is one of those things that's kind of pesky and keeps coming around. And so we have to work on using positive mental thoughts and saying, that is not something I can control. I'm going to release that. Now, we're going to go on to the things that I can control category. So, things that I can control. Getting my work done. The things that are in your things you can control category are going to be things that you need to establish a plan for about how you're going to do it, how you're going to get it done, or what you're going to do about it. So maybe you had a fight with a friend and it's something that you're worried about, but you have control over that. Maybe you said something that wasn't very nice or very kind. You can take control of that and you can say, okay, I am going to apologize to this person. I'm going to ask for their forgiveness. And hopefully they forgive me. Those are the things that I can control. I did something wrong, and so I'm going to fess up to it, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness. That would be a good example of something that may be in your things I can control category. So for me, getting my work done, I'm going to do some of the things that I told you guys to do a couple days ago. I'm going to establish a spot in my house where I'm going to sit and I'm going to do my work. So for me, that's probably going to be right here at my kitchen table because it's far from the TV, so I won't be distracted. And then I'm going to come up with a schedule for myself. Okay, I have this amount of stuff to get done each day, and so I'm going to start working at this time, work until a certain hour, then I'm going to take lunch, and then I'm going to work until I'm finished. Coming up with a plan to tackle these worries is a practical way for us to be able to address the worry, but come up with a game plan for dealing with it instead of it just having it rattle around in our head all the time. So I would highly encourage you to do this at home because it's a great activity that will really help you be able to get your thoughts out of your mind and onto paper, and B, practically sort them and help you figure out what things you need to let go, and then what things you need to come up with a game plan for. So I encourage you to do this. You can do it by yourself or with your family or with your parents. It's a great activity for kids and adults, especially in these times that we're living in. So I hope you guys have a great spring break week next week, and we will see you back here soon. All right, see you later, guys.